Hello everyone and welcome back to Make Your Mind. This is actually another viewer requested video that I was going to be doing. You hear that? If you saw the title of the video, you already know what this is. But I'll have that ambience in the background just to give us some perspective here. But you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, viewers and subscribers alike, let me introduce to you one of the most requested Subnautica sculptures that I've ever had on this channel. And that is the awesome Reefback Leviathan. There it is. There's the Reefback. As you can see, put a bunch of details on here as far as the rocks and the reef that kind of grows on here. Little plants here, the spiral plant. I got the brain coral right here that normally lets out the O2 so you can replenish your oxygen as you swim along. As you can see, the Reefback it's huge. I mean, this model is not very big, but this is one of the largest creatures in the game. And as you swim along, it makes that sound. It's very, very scary the first time you see it because you're just like, what is that? But then when you come up to it, you realize that it's completely harmless. Oh, and before you think that I didn't do the backside, I did. There's the underside. I got the breathing tubes here, the little guide fins, the front here with all the color here, and then I have the eyes. There's the underside of the Reefback. Such a strange creature. It swims along like this. These tentacles kind of flow in the back, and it's just one of it's probably one of the most distinctive creatures in all of Subnautica, to be honest. But let's do a little bit of deep digging, shall we? The Reefback is massive, with most of the creature's body being comprised of a thick dark blue carapace with a rounded triangle front, and a relatively small body concentrated in the posterior, which is its sort of head kind of down here. It's very similar to a squid in a way, that it kind of has a head and then the foot, and then the eyes are kind of down here, which is so very interesting. The adult Reefback, which is what this is, has patches of teal-colored coral and brown-colored grass growing along its carapace, befitting its name. While the younger ones lack this trait, the carapace has a slightly bright blue dotted pattern across and towards the back. Beneath the carapace, it is dark green with a light blue bioluminescent stripe. Or in this case, it's bioluminescent stripes, just like under here. It's dark green with light blue bioluminescent stripes on the sides and in the middle. On either side of its body are 8 yellow bioluminescent bulbs, which are right down here. The purpose of these is unknown, although the databank entry notes it is a visual similarity to the gasopod algae gland. This serves as an unknown function in the digestive system. 2 siphon-esque structures, that's these right here, that consistently expand and retract as the creature moves are located next to these bulbs, and these are speculated to be more of they're for probably breathing, filtration, and also propulsion. But then it also has these sort of structures down here which are kind of like guide fins. They kind of guide water into the actual orifices right here. But the Reefback is both widely known and also very unknown. There's not a lot that is actually known about the Reefback, but everyone who sees it, they all know. They all know. They all say the same thing. They go, "Hey, Reefies!" If anybody's a fan of Jacksepticeye, you'll know exactly what that is. Let's keep digging further. Adult Reefbacks can support many ecosystems on their back. These ecosystems contain many types of flora and coral, along with other small fauna swimming in the vicinity of the gentle giants. Yes, you can find peepers, biters, you can find all different types of smaller fish kind of swimming around the reefback, sort of living on it as it should. Some caution should be taken when approaching reefbacks, as the tiger plants, which would be these right here, often make their homes on their backs. Adult reefbacks often have barnacles growing on their back. These barnacles are harvesting nodes that can be broken to reveal resources, and you can actually find resources within these sort of coral growths right here. Similar to limestone, shale, or sandstone outcrops. Currently, they only drop 2 resources, silver and copper. Copper is the most frequent resource to find, so you'll find copper and silver on the reefbacks, which you'll find in the very beginning of the game. Which is quite an incredible thing, I must say. So let's see here. So here is about the life cycle. Reefbacks' lifespan likely to extend through many centuries. Should they survive the initial growth cycle, for the first few decades, their small size would make them vulnerable to carnivorous leviathans, such as reapers, and especially if they're even younger, they could be susceptible to bone sharks and also, and I guess, yeah, the occasional sand shark as well. Sand sharks would attack small reefbacks. Seen traveling in small pods and communicating by the echoing call, which is what you hear. Behavior is consistent with low-level sentience, so they do have some intelligence, but it's very primitive. They're more or less just a swimming ecosystem for the most part. Let's see, Enzyme Pods. This is interesting. Similar in appearance to the algae glands of the gasopod, these organs on the reefback's underside serve some unknown purpose in its digestive system. Oh, this is just repeating the same thing. So these are not eyes. Even though they do look like eyes, they're actually a part of the reefback's digestive system, allegedly. Nobody actually really knows. That is, unless Altera decides to actually capture a reefback and then dissect it to see what's going on. But that would be a challenge, because reefbacks, well, they're massive. They're huge creatures. And let's see, yeah, that seems to be about it. Oh, here we go. You're talking about the behaviors. The reefback drifts slowly and gently along the open waters of many biomes, mostly seen swimming in pods of more than 2. It rarely adjusts its current altitude unless bumped against obstacles, so it likes to stay within the deeper parts of the biomes. You can find these pretty close to the safe shallows over by the kelp zone, and I believe you can also find a few of them in the dunes as well. I don't quote me on that. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Like I said, I have the game again. I just got to get back into playing it again to remember what all the biomes are. Juvenile reefbacks are a quarter the size of the adult. They can often be found with adults in certain locations. You'll find usually 1 or 2 of the juveniles swimming along with the adults. They're very slow. The reefback will frequently emit a range of... just like that. It will frequently emit a range of echoing low-frequency calls. These will only emit these calls if there are other reefbacks nearby. This suggests that these calls are a form of communication as opposed to echolocation. They could actually be both. The reefback could actually be looking to see where it is, and also maybe even trying to call out to its community. Quite an incredible thing. Look at that. So I got the grass that kind of flows through here. Got the rocks, I got the tiger plant here, the brain coral, and a couple of different things on here. And these are the outcrops where you'll find the silver and the copper, which is very interesting. And I put a couple of little other details like the other pink and the green, just to give it some color contrast. There you have it. There is the mighty Reefback Leviathan. Look at that. All right, everyone. If you like content like this, don't forget to leave a like down below, and remember to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss the next video. I know this one was heavily requested on my channel to do the Reefback, and here it is. The Reefback Leviathan. Probably, I would say for most people, this is the first Leviathan that they encounter in the game, is the Reefback, and then fairly soon after that, then they experience the Reaper, which nobody ever forgets that. But with that, that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next Sculpture Showcase.